You reach for it before you even decide to. Your hand moves on its own. The phone is in your palm, the screen is lit, and you're already scrolling before a single conscious thought has formed. You didn't plan this. You don't even remember picking it up. You probably think this is about willpower, about discipline, about some modern flaw in your character that the apps have learned to exploit. But the real answer is far stranger. The reason you can't stop checking your phone has almost nothing to do with the phone. The behavior pulling your hand toward that screen is roughly 2 million years old, and it was built to keep you alive in a world that no longer exists. To understand it, you have to go back. Not to last year, when you first felt your attention start to fray. Not to your childhood. You have to go back to the savannah, to a creature standing upright in tall grass, scanning the horizon for something it cannot quite see. That creature is your ancestor, and its survival depended on a single, relentless drive. The drive to gather information. Imagine you are that early human. The grass around you is shoulder high. Somewhere out there is food. Somewhere out there is a predator. Somewhere out there is the rest of your group, and a stranger who might be a threat, and a change in the weather that could mean life or death. You cannot see most of it. So your brain does the only thing that keeps you alive. It hungers for news. It rewards you, chemically, every single time you learn something new about your environment. That reward has a name: dopamine. You've probably heard dopamine called the pleasure chemical. That's not quite right. Dopamine isn't really about pleasure. It's about seeking. It's the molecule of wanting, of anticipation, of what's over there. The neuroscientist Wolfram Schultz spent years studying dopamine neurons in the brain, and he found something that changed how we understand motivation. The neurons don't fire most strongly when you get a reward. They fire when you might get one. They fire on the maybe. Sit with that for a moment. Your brain's reward system is not designed to make you feel good when you find food. It's designed to make you restless until you go looking. Pleasure ends the search. Wanting keeps it alive. For your ancestors, this was perfect. A brain that constantly craved new information was a brain that survived. The early human who checked the horizon one more time, who turned over one more rock, who wandered just a little farther to see what was there, found more food and dodged more danger. The ones who felt satisfied, who stopped looking, who said, "I've seen enough," were the ones who got eaten. Restlessness was a survival trait. Curiosity was armor. So your brain evolved to treat information itself as a reward. Not just food, not just safety, the knowing. Now fast forward 2 million years. The grass is gone, the predators are gone, but the machinery is still running. That same ancient hunger for what's over there is still wired into the deepest part of your brain. And you are holding in your hand a rectangle of glass that delivers infinite over there, on demand. This is where it gets uncomfortable. The people who built your phone did not invent this craving. They found it. It was already there, 2 million years deep, and they reverse-engineered it with terrifying precision. The psychologist B.F. Skinner figured out the core mechanism back in the 1950s, long before the first smartphone. He put rats in a box with a lever. When the lever gave food every time, the rats pressed it casually, only when hungry. But when the lever gave food unpredictably, sometimes yes, sometimes no, the rats pressed it compulsively, frantically, far more than they needed to. He called it a variable reward schedule. You know it by a different name. You know it as pulling down to refresh. Every time you swipe, you are pulling a lever. Sometimes there's a message from someone you love. Sometimes there's nothing. Sometimes there's outrage, or beauty, or a joke, or news that changes your whole day. You never know which. And that not knowing is the entire point. Your 2 million-year-old brain, the one built to scan an uncertain horizon, cannot look away from a horizon that might contain anything. The maybe is the hook. The maybe was always the hook. But there's another layer, and it's even older. Your hunger for information isn't just about food and danger. A huge part of it is about each other. Humans are the most social animal on the planet, and for almost all of your history, your survival depended entirely on your standing within a small group. Who is angry at you? Who owes you? Who is rising? Who is falling? Who said what about whom? The anthropologist Robin Dunbar argues that the human brain grew as large as it did largely to manage the staggering complexity of social relationships. Gossip, he suggests, is not a flaw. It's the thing that held our groups together.